Good morning. My name is Harold Putt. I'm a member of St. Mark's Finance Committee. I must admit that I was conflicted when asked to speak to you about humility. Seems to me, if you believe you are the right person to tell others about humility, then perhaps you aren't. In any case, after some prayer and a little thought, I decided I did have some ideas about humility, and specifically humility as it relates to stewardship, that I could share. I believe there are three things that characterize a truly humble person. First is the courage to acknowledge both your flaws and your gifts. Next is the wisdom to ask for God's help in managing your flaws and using your gifts for good. Finally, the strength to be committed to putting the needs of others ahead of your own. Perhaps this makes being humble sound like a nearly impossible task to you. That's what it does to me. But as you know, with God, all things are possible. And even though we may never reach the goal of consistently behaving like a truly humble person, with God's help, we can keep moving in that direction. When I think about humility as it relates to stewardship, I'm reminded of something that my mother worked hard at instilling in me during my early years. She said I should always leave things in as good a shape or better shape than I found them. She meant that I should make my bed in the morning, since I'd found it that way the night before, and that I should be sure to clean up after myself so that the house looked as good when I was done playing as it did when I started. But she was especially keen on my following her advice when I was away from home. She thought it was more important for me to take good care of things that belonged to others than my own things. As I have matured, her maxim has come to mean to me that I will have lived a successful life if my world ends up being a little better off for my having been here. Now, I'm well aware that most people, me included, do not have the ability, the resources, or the opportunity to make major improvements to our world. However, I do believe that everyone can contribute to making things better. One vehicle for doing so is our faith community here at St. Mark's United Methodist Church. As those of us on the Finance Committee were discussing this year's Stewardship campaign, I was reminded of a contemporary Christian song. It's a song we used to sing at the midweek chapel services held at the United Methodist related university where I taught for many years. It is by Hillsong United and is called the Desert Song, which makes it perhaps even more appropriate here in Tucson, Arizona, than it was in Ada, Ohio. The point of the song is that the Lord is with us in all of our circumstances, and this knowledge should make us thankful and encourage us to sing praises to God. The last four lines of the song, however, have a somewhat different message. It is these lines that sum up for me this year's Stewardship campaign. I wouldn't think of abusing you with my singing voice, but I would like to conclude this message by reading them to you. This is my prayer in the harvest. When favor and providence flow, I know I'm filled to be emptied again. The seed I've received, I will sow. Won't you please join with me in sowing here at St. Mark's a little of the seed we have received, so that together we can help this community in its mission to change the world through Christ by caring for all people. Thank you.